Hey guys, today I'm going to be sharing with you my recipe for a delicious and buttery garlic naan. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start off with some all-purpose flour. I also have some granulated sugar and salt in my bowl. And then in here I have some warm water that I've added a little bit of granulated sugar and a packet of yeast, and that is activated and ready to go. I've also got some melted, unsalted butter in that little bowl. All the amounts, of course, will be listed below. I have some grated garlic and some finely chopped cilantro, very finely chopped, and 1 egg. And that's pretty much it. We're going to go ahead and start off by mixing our dry ingredients, which is just the flour, the sugar, and the salt. Mix that till it's nice and everything is well combined. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add in my grated garlic and my very finely chopped cilantro. I'm going to mix that together with my dry ingredients before I add in anything else. And then I'm going to go in with my hands and make sure and get all that garlic clumps and cilantro, everything evenly distributed throughout the flour. You don't want to have any clumps of garlic or cilantro, but you want everything to be nicely going through the flour. Then, making a little well in the middle of my bowl, I'm going to go ahead and add in my yeast, a little yeast mixture, as well as my melted butter and my egg. Go ahead and add in the egg, and then we're just going to go ahead and break it up a little bit, break up that egg a little bit, just to combine it. And then start incorporating everything in. Now what I'm going to do is, after it came together with my spoon, I'm going to go in with my hands and just bring it together, make sure everything is getting, coming together beautifully. Just using my hands to bring it all in, and then I'm going to transfer this over to my board or my surface, whatever you're going to use. I'm using a board. And then we're going to end up kneading this for about 5 minutes or so. So I placed my dough on my board, and what I'm going to be using is the back of my wrist here to knead this. What we're going to do is we're going to push on our dough outwards and bring it back in towards us, using the back of our wrist, just like so, and I'm turning as I'm kneading it. And we're going to do this for about 4 to 5 minutes, and this is going to come together beautifully. All the pieces of flour and everything is going to come together beautifully into the dough, and it's going to become a nice, smooth dough ball. So we're just going to knead that for about 4 to 5 minutes. You can place a towel under your board to help it not from sliding everywhere. You can use a wet towel or a wet paper towel, napkin. And as you can see, it is beautiful, it's smooth, everything came off the board. And I have a bowl that is sprayed with non-stick cooking spray. You can also use some vegetable oil. And I'm just going to go ahead and place my dough into this bowl just to make sure that nothing sticks. So I'm going to plop my dough in there, roll it around, make sure all the sides are coated with that non-stick cooking spray or vegetable oil. I'm going to cover this with cling wrap, place it in a warm area, and let it rise until it's doubled in size for about 30 to 45 minutes, or an hour depending on where you are, but just till it's nice and doubled in size. So as you can see, my dough here is nice and risen, it's doubled in size. I covered it with cling wrap so that nothing sticks. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and remove that cling wrap, and I have some extra flour on the side. You're always going to need a little bit of extra flour just to dust your surface to make sure that nothing sticks. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going ahead and dust my clean countertop with some flour, as well as my rolling pin. Just make sure everything is really nice and well floured. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lightly deflate my dough. I'm not going to completely press it all the way down, but I'm just going to lightly deflate it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove about a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half amount of the dough at a time. Roll that in a ball, roll it around in flour. I'm going to just press it down with my fingers first to get it started. And we're going to get our rolling pin and just roll this out till it's really nice and thin. Move it around if you have to. Use a little extra flour if you need to. Make sure nothing sticks. And we're just going to roll it till it's really nice and thin. You can use a little bit more dough if you want or less, depending on the size of naan that you want. But all you need to do is roll it out till it's really nice and thin, just like so. And then we're going to go ahead and put this on our non-stick skillet that I have really nice and hot. And my heat is on high, and it's as high as it can go right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that naan that we rolled out, I'm just going to place it on there and let it go for about 45 seconds to a minute or so. You're going to start seeing lovely bubbles coming on the top, just like so. And that means it's our indication that it's ready to flip it. We are going to flip it, and then I have some nice melted butter that I'm going to go ahead and brush on the top of the naan. Just go ahead and brush that butter on. And then after I finish that side, probably takes about 30 seconds or so for the other side to cook. So when I'm finished brushing my butter on, I'm going to go ahead and flip it and then brush the other side with butter. Go ahead and flip that and go ahead and brush that other side with butter. So it's buttery and garlicky and oh, so delicious. And when this is done, I'm going to make sure and remove it and place it into a nice container, a heat-proof container, to keep everything nice and warm. And then I'm just going to show you another one here. We put it on the really hot skillet, lovely air bubbles to come up, and then we're just going to go ahead and flip that, butter that side with some amazing butter. And then while we're buttering this side, the other side is cooking for about 30 to 45 seconds. Then we're just going to go ahead and remove it and place it in a nice heat-proof bowl to keep everything nice and warm. And that is it. It is so easy to do, but you get such a fantastic garlic naan out of this recipe. This goes so quickly. Anytime I make this, whatever I make it as a side with, this is usually the first thing to go. I can seriously eat this by itself. I don't need to dip it in anything, even though it is amazing with some lovely sauces. But it's just good, just as it is. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this recipe. Do give it a try. Do remember, it's not a traditional one, but it's super easy and it's super delicious. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.